Now, White Pine County Daily News with Wyatt Cox.
And KELY News, sponsored by Sahara Motors. Ready for all seasons, the Kawasaki Bridge XR Crew Limited HVAC side-by-side keeps you cool in the summer, dry in the rain, and warm in the winter. Conquer any trail, creek, or blizzard while staying comfortable the whole way. Check one out today at Sahara Motors. We are going to see cloudy skies today, maybe a sprinkle or a flurry. Nothing much today, and overnight you will see snow flurries, but don't expect anything to stick around. Today's high, 49 degrees. Following a Friday morning meeting regarding the possible closure of the White Pine Care Center, William B. Ryrie Hospital CEO Matt Walker told us no decisions have been made, discussions are ongoing. Walker said the group plans to meet again on Thursday at 7 a.m. when a clearer decision is expected. Walker said hospital officials are meeting with the business owner, the property owner, and state representatives to gather more information. He identified the cost of the land and building lease as the primary obstacle, saying the landlord's monthly rent is too high and the main reason the current operator plans to leave. Walker says the landlord has so far been unwilling to negotiate on rent or building repairs, making it difficult for the hospital to consider taking over operations. Now, if that doesn't change, Walker said the hospital would likely have to explore building a new long-term care facility, which would result in a loss of services during the transition period. Walker emphasized that no final determination has been made and that the hospital is awaiting additional information before moving forward. White Pine County Commission will meet Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. in the conference room in the library. KELY will broadcast the meeting live beginning at 9 a.m. The agenda includes a wide range of county operations, financial oversight, and board appointments, including appointing the daughter of Commissioner Tim Pauly, Brandy Summerall, to the Emergency Management Committee. At the last meeting, Commissioner Pauly delayed reappointments to the Agriculture District 13 Board. One of the people now seeking the nomination of that seat, in addition to the incumbent, is the son-in-law of Commissioner Pauly and the husband of Brandy Summerall, Caleb Summerall. We reported 2 weeks ago that Commissioner Pauly delayed the reappointments for just this reason. In addition to scheduled items, commissioners are expected to address concerns raised following a recent meeting about an audit-related correction. According to county officials familiar with the issue, the correction was not brought to the Finance Department's attention until after Thursday's special meeting. That despite the information reportedly being available as early as February 3rd, Tuesday. Those officials, speaking on condition of anonymity, say the delay prevented finance staff from addressing this issue sooner and has raised questions about internal communications in this stressful time. The issue raised after the commission dismissed Finance Director Kathy Workman and Assistant Finance Director Courtney Thornall resigned. The meeting will also include a public hearing on road certification, updates on fire district operations, discussion of natural resource contracts, and a proposed golf course well project. Commissioners will also consider staffing and administrative actions tied to finance support, job posting, and stipends for additional duties. The meeting will be Wednesday, 9 a.m. We will broadcast it live on KELY. White Pine County Sheriff's Office reports a busy 3-day period from Thursday through Saturday, numerous calls for service and several arrests across the county. Deputies investigated reports of suspicious activity, burglaries, fraud, and welfare checks within the city and surrounding areas. Several incidents, including attempted thefts, shots fired reports, and suspicious persons, were resolved with no immediate threats found, while multiple investigations remain ongoing, including vehicle burglaries and a stolen handgun. Again, folks, lock your vehicles at night. In fact, lock your vehicles at any time. Trust me. Arrests during the period included Anthony J. Martinez of Ely on a charge of open and gross lewdness, Ashley Endicott Correa on an out-of-state warrant, Costin Burgett on a probation violation, and Christopher M. Davidson of Ely. Davidson arrested after deputies responded to a report of a driver possibly under the influence and contemplating self-harm. He was transported for medical assistance and later booked on DUI and firearm-related charges. Deputies also handled reports involving juveniles, animals, and traffic hazards, protection order violations, and possible child abuse, with appropriate referrals made to state agencies. Now turning to local sports. The Bobcats basketball team wrapped up a trip to Las Vegas this weekend with a split, including a tight loss to Founders Christian 52-50, but winning against Awakened Christian 56-53, and the Ladycats basketball team getting warmed up for postseason with a 52-11 romp over Founders Christian. Turning to wrestling, the White Pine High Bobcat boys dominated the mat Friday, capturing the 2026 NIAA 2A Southern Region Wrestling Championship at Tonopah High School in convincing fashion. The Bobcats piled up 283 points, nearly doubling second-place Founders to secure the regional team title and underline their depth across the lineup. White Pine crowned multiple regional champions, including Jacob Reynoso at 106 pounds, Cooper Reed at 126 pounds, Theron Hernandez at 138 pounds, Jacob Hall at 190, Maddox Soldacek at 215, and Marshall Miller as heavyweight. Several other Bobcats added key podium finishes, helping White Pine run away with the victory. The regional win sends White Pine into the state tournament with strong momentum, and championship expectations. White Pine High's girls wrestling team sets its sight on this weekend's state meet in Winnemucca. The Ladycats finished 5th overall in a deep 30-team field, scoring 92.5 points and placing among many of the state's largest programs. White Pine earned several key podium finishes, led by Brooklyn Reed's third-place finish at 100 pounds, along with fourth-place efforts from Constance Gubler, Libby Wayland, and strong third-place finishes by Juliana Hughes and Adelaide Costello. With multiple wrestling qualifying and momentum building, White Pine heads to Winnemucca, confident and ready to compete for state medals this weekend. In state news, a shocking political announcement Friday morning as we brought you live with bulletins at once. Nevada Congressman Mark Amodei has announced he will retire after completing his current term. Amodei, the only Republican in Nevada's congressional delegation, and represents most of northern Nevada, including White Pine County. Governor Lombardo praised Amodei's service, calling him an unwavering advocate for northern Nevada. Lombardo saying Amodei worked tirelessly to represent Nevadans' interests at both the state and federal levels, and thanked him for his partnership and years of political service. The congressman says politics and health had nothing to do with his decision to retire at the end of the term. In his first interview since the surprise announcement, the Nevada Republican told the Nevada Independent that after 15 years in Congress, the time just felt right. Amodei said his re-election prospects were strong. He's satisfied with the GOP agenda on the economy and border security, and concerns about Republicans losing the House in 2026 did not factor into his choice. He also dismissed health speculation, saying he's not undergoing treatment and that cancer he faced in 2021 was cured. Amodei plans to remain active in Congress through the end of his term, focusing on DHS funding and Nevada public lands issues. Governor Lombardo hosted a ceremonial bill signing Friday, marking passage of the Nevada Safe Streets and Neighborhoods Act. The new law strengthens protections for victims of stalking and domestic violence, increases penalties for crimes against children and seniors, cracks down on DUI offenders, and holds repeat and violent criminals more accountable. The legislation also makes retail theft of $750 or more a felony and treats each child exploitation victim as a separate felony offense. Lombardo says the reforms put victims first and give law enforcement stronger tools to protect Nevada communities. Updating a story we told you about last week, in a bizarre twist, a federal judge has ordered the release of a Las Vegas property manager connected to a suspected Bio-lab investigation tied to the Chinese Communist Party. U.S. Magistrate Judge Elena Yochat released 55-year-old Ori Solomon on a personal recognizance bond, requiring him to surrender his passport and remain in the continental U.S. Solomon charged federally with unlawfully possessing firearms while in the country on a non-immigrant visa. Police and the FBI searched 2 homes January 31st, finding what they described as a possible biological laboratory with vials of unknown liquids. Now, Solomon is not facing federal charges related to the Bio-lab, but does face a state hazardous waste charge. At 8:26 for Sahara Motors, that's your checkup news from the state of Nevada.
You see lots of commercials on television telling you to drive a little and save a lot. Dealers wanting you to drive to Salt Lake, Elko, Reno, and even Las Vegas. But ask them one question. What happens if there's a problem? Do you have to drive 3, 4, or even 6 hours to get service? Here at Sahara Motors in Ely, we service everything we sell right here in White Pine County. Shop here first, get our best deal, and you get that best deal by telling Shauna that Wyatt sent you by. Then if you want, shop other places. When you account for the drive, you'll find that it pays you to be a part of the Sahara Motors family. Stop by Sahara Motors, just about a mile north of Ely on US 93. Sahara Motors, we are White Pine proud.
Tell Shauna Wyatt sent you by.